What happens when a Hollywood titan faces a bully? Tonight, we're diving into a shocking showdown. Michael B. Jordan, redefined late-night TV. Subscribe now, and comment your thoughts below. This story will leave you stunned. The studio lights blazed fiercely that evening. Michael B. Jordan settled into Kimmel's guest chair. The audience buzzed, expecting a promotional chat. But something darker was brewing beneath. So Kimmel began, smirking slyly. Social media's buzzing with rumors. Wild stories about your personal life. Michael shifted, his smile professional. Jimmy, I'm here for the film. That's what we agreed on. Oh, come on, Kimmel laughed coldly. The audience deserves the truth. You're on my show, be honest. The tension was instantly palpable. The crowd sensed something off. Michael's jaw tightened ever so slightly. Jimmy, there's a difference, he said firmly. Honesty's one thing, gossip's another. I'm open about my craft. That's where you're wrong, Kimmel leaned forward. Everything's fair game in that chair. Relationships, politics, family, all of it. That's how this works, Michael. The audience fell eerily silent. This wasn't their expected banter. Michael exhaled, his composure legendary. Actually, Jimmy, he countered calmly. That's how you think it works. There's a line between entertainment and exploitation. Oh, enlighten me, Kimmel's sarcasm dripped. You're the guest, I run the show. I've done this for decades. The silence was heavy and raw. Michael's eyes burned with frustration. Jimmy, I've been on countless shows. Oprah, Stern, respected hosts. They treated me like a human, not a target for cheap shots. Exploitation. Kimmel's laugh was forced. That's rich, from you, Michael. Making millions, playing tough guys. Phoning in the same role. You exploit your audience's trust. The attack stunned the crowd. Gasps echoed through the studio. Michael's publicist looked horrified up front. Michael froze, his hurt flickering. Then something shifted to danger. Excuse me, Michael's voice was quiet. Did you question my integrity? I'm questioning a lot, Kimmel sneered. You're acting, your authenticity. You're a pretty boy who lucked out. The words poisoned the air. Michael's hands clenched into fists. Cameras zoomed, capturing every moment. Jimmy, Michael's voice cut sharply. Be careful what you say next. You're disrespecting every actor's grind. Every dreamer chasing their craft. Sanctimonious speech, Kimmel waved dismissively. You're untouchable with your awards. This is late night, handle the heat. Or stick to scripted superhero films. That moment, Michael's restraint cracked. He leaned forward, voice a whisper. Jimmy, I didn't luck into anything. Every role I earned through sweat, blood, dedication, grueling work. Directors have worked with no more about film than you'll ever grasp. Intimidate me. Kimmel's confidence wavered. Your tough act doesn't scare me. This is my house, my rules. Your house. Michael's laugh was icy. You're not the funniest here. A middle-aged man mocking talent. Your achievement. Safe, vanilla jokes. The audience sat in shocked silence. Some covered mouths in disbelief. This wasn't television, it was war. You want my personal life? Michael surged. Let's discuss your own career. You're the safe choice networks love. Never rocking the boat. You're threatened by people like me. We risk, push, create art. Jimmy's face flushed deep red. His confidence crumbled under assault. You don't know me, he stammered. I do, Michael pressed relentlessly. You fear what I represent. Risk takers, boundary pushers, storytellers. You lean on funnier writers. Interview more interesting guests. Jimmy's hands shook, grabbing his mug. It clattered, betraying his nerves. You've read your own press, he snapped. You're no genius, just genetics. Decent agent, that's your story. Michael tilted, his head studying. Jimmy, are you breaking down? This is painful to watch. Your audience deserves better. My audience loves me, Jimmy barked. His eyes darted to the crowd. They stared, embarrassed for him. Have they? Michael challenged softly. They look mortified right now. Not laughing at your jokes. Producers gestured for a commercial. Jimmy ignored, lost in desperation. You're angry, Michael said evenly. Because I exist, confident, respected. While you make safe quips. Real art passes you by. Real change. Jimmy's laugh was bitter. You make movies, dress up games. Don't act like you're saving lives. I inspire, Michael shot back fiercely. My films spark self-discovery. Your show lulls them to sleep. Forgettable, empty content. The crowd murmured in agreement. Some nodded, siding with Michael. Jimmy's desperation grew more reckless. You think you're royalty, he shouted. Hollywood bows to your ego. Everyone worships Michael B. Jordan. I never claimed superiority, Michael said. But I'm better than this nonsense. Than your pathetic teardown. I won't pretend this is entertainment. Michael stood, ready to leave. Jimmy grabbed his arm suddenly. Sit down, Kimmel demanded frantically. We're not done here. The contact electrified the room. Michael looked at Jimmy's hand. Then met his eyes coldly. Jimmy, his voice was deadly. Remove your hand now. Jimmy froze, realizing his mistake. He released, but too late. Did you, Michael asked quietly, physically grab to control me? Force me into your humiliation? Jimmy paled, his voice trembling. Michael, I didn't mean. What, Jimmy? Michael cut in. You were desperate for control. You forgot I'm a person, not your prop for abuse. The silence was suffocatingly heavy. Camera operators stood transfixed. Michael stood, towering over Jimmy. The sad part, he said softly. I came, excited to talk about art, creativity, my work. With respect for your show. Jimmy tried to interrupt weakly. Michael raised a silencing hand. No, Jimmy, he said firmly. You spoke, now I finish. You're a coward, Michael declared. Afraid of your own irrelevance. You destroy those who shine. I refuse to be dimmed. Michael, please, Jimmy whispered faintly. Can we start over? Start over. Michael's laugh was harsh. No reset for this. You revealed your true self. A bully with a microphone. The audience was utterly captivated. Phones recorded the historic moment. Some stared in raw shock. I've worked, Michael continued powerfully, with directors, actors, visionaries. Over a decade of excellence. Never met such unprofessionalism. Jimmy's hands shook openly now. Michael, let's take a break. Cool down, he pleaded desperately. Cool down. Michael's eyebrows rose. I'm calm, the calmest here. You're unraveling, losing your show. Jimmy looked for any ally. His band, writers, none met his gaze. Pity, disgust, filled their faces. You invited, Michael faced the camera. Under false pretenses, promising film talk. Instead, ambushed with personal attacks. When I refused your game, you got angry, Michael's voice rose. So angry, you grabbed me, forcing me into your spectacle. The weight settled over the studio. This wasn't a mere interview. It was a career's end. Look at me, Michael commanded softly. Do you see your ruin? 5 minutes destroyed your legacy. Jimmy's eyes were red and watery. He seemed poised to apologize. But instead, his face twisted. You know, he forced a grimace. The real Michael B. Jordan, a prima donna, throwing tantrums. The crowd gasped audibly. Even loyal fans recoiled in shock. Michael stood, watching Jimmy crumble. Prima donna. His voice was incredulous. You grabbed me, attacked my work, ambushed with lies, and I'm the problem. Do you hear yourself? Jimmy doubled down, fatally reckless. Ladies and gentlemen, he addressed the crowd. Guests like this demand special treatment. Too good for real questions. Nobody's above my show's callouts. The silence was deafeningly tense. Michael repeated, guests like this. What exactly do you mean? I think everyone knows. Jimmy blanched, catching his implication. That's not, he stammered quickly. Difficult guests, I meant. No, Michael's voice was authoritative. You meant Exactly that. Now everyone sees your truth. The tragic part, Michael said solemnly. You had a chance for grace, for professionalism, human decency. You chose to expose your ugliness. Jimmy sweated, his collar damp. You're overreacting, he muttered weakly. This is just a conversation. Conversation. Michael's laugh was cold. It requires mutual respect. You're desperate, tearing me down. I refuse to sink with you. The band exchanged uneasy glances. Writers stared at their feet. Producers whispered into headsets frantically. You saw me, Michael said powerfully. Confident, successful, respected. It reminded you of your limits. Your small world, your fading relevance. Ridiculous. Jimmy's voice lacked conviction. Is it? Michael pressed relentlessly. You risked everything tonight to drag me to your level. Michael moved toward the stage's edge. You can't leave, Jimmy shouted desperately. 10 minutes remain in the segment. Michael turned, pity in his eyes. Watch me, he said simply. Leave, and you're done, Jimmy threatened. I have friends, connections. I'll ensure you never work. Stop. Michael's voice sliced through. You're threatening my career. Because I maintain my dignity. The audience sat in stunned silence. Some covered mouths in horror. Others recorded the historic clash. Jimmy, Michael's voice softened. I don't need your show, your approval, your platform. I built my career on integrity. I believed in you once. Thought you were worth respect. Now I see you never were. Michael walked through the crowd. The audience parted in awe. Jimmy sat alone under lights. Cameras rolled, capturing his ruin. We'll be, he whispered brokenly. Right back, his voice faded. The show cut to commercial abruptly. No credits rolled that night. Local news filled the slot. Michael drove home with clarity. His integrity shone brighter. His reputation was untarnished. Backstage, chaos erupted instantly. Michael's team confronted Kimmel's staff. This ambush will have consequences. Producers deflected, citing live TV. Michael left, composed and resolute. He thanked the crew's professionalism. Social media exploded within moments. #Kimmel exposed trended globally overnight. Fans hailed Michael's fierce dignity. Critics debated his bold stand. The clash dominated every headline. Insiders revealed Kimmel's past tactics. Other stars shared similar ambushes. His influence had quietly wounded. Now exposed, his credibility shattered. Kimmel's show faced swift fallout. Ratings crashed in the aftermath. Guests hesitated, booking appearances. A hiatus was quietly announced. Creative changes, the network claimed. Rumors pointed to deeper troubles. Kimmel's humor now felt cruel. His legacy was forever scarred. Michael stayed silent post-show. His publicist issued a statement. Michael appreciates the support. He focuses on future projects. Hollywood learned from the clash. Hosts saw respect was non-negotiable. Ambushing stars carried heavy costs. The Showdown became TV legend. It's replayed in industry discussions. Michael's exit inspired countless others. His composure was a masterclass. Kimmel's fall warned against malice. Crossing lines ended in ruin. What should Michael have done? Stayed and fought, or walked away? Comment below, share your view. Subscribe for more shocking stories. What's next in Hollywood's shadows?